And guys, in this next news story, and it's been an update. So Police Scotland have denied any link between Spanish gangland executions and Scottish crime war, despite Spanish authorities identifying the Daniels were behind the Gangland assassination of Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons Jr. So as I said, Police Scotland have reaffirmed their position that there is no current evidence linking the double assassination of both men in southern Spain to any ongoing gang-related activities in Scotland. This firm stance comes after Spanish police just the other day identified the suspect arrested in connection with the shooting as a long-time associate of the feared Daniel crime group, a faction looked in a decades-long and deadly feud with the Lyons family to which both victims belong. So as we know, the men were gunned down in a brazen execution-style shooting outside Monaghan's Irish bar in the popular tourist town of Fuengirola on the night of May the 31st, shortly after the UEFA Champions League final. The attack, which took place in full view of horrified people, sent shockwaves through both Spanish and Scottish law enforcement communities. Witnesses reported a calculated ambush in which the gunman opened fire at close range, suggesting a level of professionalism and planning rarely seen in the local criminal activity. So today, during a widely anticipated press conference in Malaga, Spanish Police Chief Pedro Agudo Novo, head of the Provincial Judicial Police Unit, revealed that the man arrested in the UK, 44-year-old Michael Terence Riley, is suspected to be a professional hitman affiliated with the Daniel crime syndicate. Agudo Novo explicitly ruled out the possibility that the killing had been carried out by an independent or freelance assassin, instead characterizing Riley as a trusted insider from within the Daniel faction. He described the killings as a targeted operation between rival gang members, escalating concerns about international dimensions in Scotland's underworld. So as we know, the Daniel Lyons gang war, rooted in territorial retribution killings and the lucrative drugs trade, had ravaged parts of Glasgow for nearly 20 years. This is one of Scotland's most enduring and violent criminal feuds. The recent double murder occurring on foreign soil is raising fresh fears that the feud has now expanded beyond the UK, with Spain's Costa del Sol, also known as Costa del Crime, serving as the latest battleground. Despite these developments, Police Scotland maintain there is no substantiated link between the Fuengirola killings and the escalating wave of violence currently being investigated under Operation Portaledge, a major ongoing investigation into organised crime incidents in Scotland. Speaking after the Spanish press conference, Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Houston reiterated the Scottish Forces' position. He goes, "We have been assisting Spanish colleagues with their investigation into the fatal shootings in Fuengirola. At this stage, we are not aware of any current evidence which connects the deaths of these two men to the series of recent criminal attacks being investigated in Scotland. We are aware of the arrests made in Merseyside and are prepared to provide additional support to our Spanish counterparts should they request it." He added, "While we recognise the statement made by the Spanish police, we cannot comment on the specifics of an active investigation taking place in another jurisdiction. That said, our position remains unchanged. There is currently no evidence to suggest the murders were orchestrated from Scotland or directly related to domestic gang activity." So Monaghan and Lyons, they were both high-ranking figures within the Lyons crime family, a Glaswegian gang that rose to prominence in the early 2000s. Ross Monaghan, a veteran criminal with a long and violent history, had been living in Spain for several years, reportedly after surviving a failed assassination attempt outside a school in Glasgow's West End in 2017. He was famously acquitted of the 2010 murder of the feared Gangland enforcer Kevin Gerbil Carroll, who was shot dead in an Asda supermarket car park in broad daylight, one of the most brazen underworld killings in modern Scottish history. Monaghan and Lyons Jr. were also jointly charged and later cleared over a brutal assault outside a bar in Bishop Briggs in 2017, and the attack, which left 3 men seriously injured, was widely believed to be linked to the escalating turf war with the Daniel gang. Despite their legal victories, both men remain central figures in the Lyons organisation and were believed to be overseeing operations from southern Spain. Eddie Lyons Jr., the second victim, was part of the second generation of the family. The Lyons clan, originally based in the north of Glasgow, has long been involved in organising drug trafficking, has now extended its reach to European criminal networks. Spanish investigators believe both men were acting as key lieutenants, helping manage logistics for the gang lieutenants. They were managing the interests in Costa del Sol, an area known for its appeal to British expatriates due to its warm climate, relaxed residential laws, and strategic access to the narcotic supply routes from northern Africa. Spanish police have described the attack as methodical and intentional, suggesting the victims were under surveillance before being ambushed. Investigators believe the timing, shortly after a high-profile football match, was carefully chosen to blend in with the festive crowds and allow the gunman to disappear quickly. Although Police Scotland have clarified that they are not leading the investigation, the force confirmed it had been cooperating with Spanish authorities from the outset. A statement issued back on June the 3rd emphasised that the case remains entirely under the control of the Spanish law enforcement and that Police Scotland has not deployed any officers to Spain as part of the investigation. They said at the time the investigation of the fatal shootings in Fringarola has been carried out by Spanish police. Police Scotland is supporting Spanish police. However, at this time we have no officers deployed within Spain. So as the investigation continues, attention now turns to how this high-profile killing might affect the broader dynamics of the Scottish criminal underworld. Experts in organised crime suggest that if the killings are confirmed to be part of the Lyons-Daniel feud, it may mark a new phase in the conflict, one where violence is exported beyond UK borders and international law enforcement cooperation becomes critical in suppressing further bloodshed. For now, Police Scotland is urging restraint and patience as Spanish authorities continue their inquiries whilst maintaining their position that despite the arrest of a suspected Daniel gang assassin in the UK, there is still no conclusive evidence connecting the Fringarola murders with recent gang activity in Scotland. Also today, the man accused of gunning down both men appeared in court over the killing. So Michael Riley appeared via video link at Westminster Magistrates Court in connection with the deaths of the underworld figures. He faces 3 charges in relation to the crime. The 44-year-old from Liverpool is charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 of possession of a firearm over the incident. He appeared via video link from HMP Wandsworth today, speaking to confirm his name and date of birth during a brief hearing. However, the hearing was adjourned until tomorrow due to problems with the video link feed, so he can appear in the dock in person. Riley was arrested by Merseyside police last Friday under an international arrest warrant issued by the Spanish authorities, and his full extradition hearing is expected to be held later this year. So guys, this is an update with regards to the situation that happened over in Fringarola with regards to the deaths of Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons Jr. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.